See, it's always fun to go to these sort of videos after we've played for a day
Yes.
because now you get to review what some of them said. Zen, what was that? Only G. You can't imagine anyone other than G2.
I think a lot of the takes age like milk. Obviously, everyone's saying Vitality will win easily. Zen is going to clear everyone. The funniest one for mine is Reddles backing AJ against anyone in the world, particularly Zen and Rawas. He then lost to OSM and Atomic. So it's just not quite aging well, some of those takes, as we said. But Joris, he backed himself in the 1v1s. He said he'd take anyone, he'd back himself in that best of one. And, well, he showed up and beat Zen. So good on him.
Yeah, it's been incredible to see. But I love that just the core of that video was everyone saying, all right, Vitality are through and us. You know, that was everybody's prediction. We will go Vitality and we'll go. It got a little bit, you know, stale towards the end. But what I do appreciate on that one is like Gaming Gladiator is saying, look, Vitality will go for the upper bracket. We don't have to worry about them. Like, we'll go through everybody else.
I think they forgot that, you know, there is a little bit of a once you win Worlds, you kind of, I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but they sort of, you know, just to ease things off a little bit. So, you know, upsets can always happen. And we saw it last year. There were random, I don't say random teams, but look what Guild did last year out of nowhere, pushing into the top 4. So, you know, anything can happen in this format. And yeah, it was good to see. So, all the best of Vitality in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to be looking towards the. Let's have a look to what's later on today, shall we? The Oxygen G2 matchup. How are we feeling about Oxygen? Because I don't know how I feel about Oxygen anymore. I feel like everything I knew about this team has been flipped upside down. I mean, what a win for this squad.
I mean, they took down Ground Zero. That was a 3-1. And then, as you said, they really shocked everyone. It is just the talking point of day one. Everyone should have to be talking about Oxygen. But
it's Vitality and Chrome are like the two main talking points.
Exactly. Obviously, Chrome, I absolutely love watching him. But, you know, you look at this matchup with G2. G2 had a pretty cruisy 3-0 through. I know that was it was an overtime win in the third game as well. But Atomic in the 1v1s absolutely, you know, smashed AJ, basically. It wasn't close there. And G2 looking good as well. They've obviously played one less series. Does that play into it? I don't know. I think G2 are favourites still, but like at what point do we just believe in Oxygen? You know, if they beat, if they beat Vitality, they're the best in the world. I guess
it's difficult because you see, like, you don't expect Atomic to be at that level. Obviously, he's good at ones, but beating AJ is certainly a shock. Yeah. But also, you've got Jorius coming in off a win against Zen. So that's the sort of matchup that could end up being the crux of that series because Oxygen have not dropped away so much in the threes where they're not capable of taking games over there. Maybe it comes down to the twos. Like, that one is going to be absolutely fascinating.
I think with Joris with the ones, everyone knows when he's on, he can beat anyone, but he could show up today and just be a completely different player. We saw it with the World Championships. He didn't feel comfortable at all. He was saying that my controller's wrong, my cable's broken, something's not happening. You know, he said he feels like a brick, so anything is possible, but I'm looking forward to the twos for sure.
So we're going to have a look at some of the players starting to turn up, shall we?
Oh, the boys they got the Ray-Bans on. They were gifted from Gamers8 as well. Shout out to them. Kami's looking very, very fresh, but
yeah, they're all turning up, ready to go and ready to play. I mean, this first round is so important as well because it's going up from $15,000 to $25,000. I mean, you have to get these wins. You will have that disappointment of dropping down, but you know, everything you do here just keeps building it up for you.
Yeah, and also, you know, you want to win because you don't want to be going home in this first round, obviously. So, you know, you look at Ground Zero, they can say they had a good run. They beat Oxygen in a 3v3 game, but it's one thing to do that. It's another thing to win an entire series, and they've got a tough first matchup against OpTic.
Yeah, that is going to be very interesting indeed. It's also going to be really difficult for whichever team loses that upper bracket final because they're going to be playing very quickly after that against a team that's already won twice on the day. So,
momentum is a factor.
Yes, definitely so, especially when you know, we're all thinking Vitality is getting there with 2 wins.
Don't they?
I mean, surely. That would be like the quickest the World Championship curse has ever hit a team.
They've got the perfect run, to be honest. With the greatest respect to Ground Zero and OpTic, you know, once they get through Gladiators, they should be able to get the job done through the lower bracket.
So we are ready to get underway for day number 2 of Gamers 8. The Rocket League event has been very interesting to see up to this point, but we have now got to the stage where we have to start eliminating teams. Who is going to survive? Who is going to move on? And who's going to get eliminated?
My night with every win we ascend a new heights. I'm sharpening my skills and I focus my mind. The pride, nice in the heart of a line. A battle with pride is a matter of time. I become the most greatest. The victory's mine. We reach for the cup, and the tension is up in the city area. Everybody's getting hot. It's not about luck. It's all the skills that we got at the national scores from all over the globe. Are you ready to show up from above the spot?
Get away from Stacks. Get away from Stacks as quick as we can. You can see
We
the
do
lovely
not want to
trophy.
hear. I'm sick of him doing intros. I've heard him do them all season long, and let's
Yep.
just get away from him for once. No,
Do you
great
see
call, great call.
the photo Cole took of Stacks looking at his own intros for inspiration to do an intro?
Yeah, he's his own pump up guy. It's just that's the kind of guy.
I mean, it's
As
a
we
solid
said,
one to have.
I know we're giving all these reasons to not watch the A stream. We can talk about Stumpy and Cole, but we've got the boys over here on the B stream. Forget about Stacks. We can do our own intros if you want. Let us know in chat. We'll throw a Stacks intro into a series if we need to.
I was no, let's not do that. I was
Okay.
petrified catching off him for Worlds. That was probably like the most difficult part of all of that. You hear him going absolutely huge with that intro, like, oh, God, follow that. Okay, that should be fun. So yeah, but hey, I mean, let's talk about maybe something even more petrifying: getting through this lower bracket, because you're losing, you're out. Quite simple for all of these teams from now on. If any of these teams want to now win the entire event, it is 6 wins in a row, 3 in the lower bracket, and then you've got to win 3 in the playoffs. There's no second chances.
No, it's do or die right now. And as you said, even if you won the first match in the upper bracket, you're straight back to the same spot in the lower bracket. You're through to you're in the lower bracket quarterfinal, the rest of the pack. So, all that hard work you might have done in that first series, well, unlucky. You're back here again. And as we said, if you lose, you go home. If you win, you move along in the bracket, you get an extra $10,000 straight away. And then it pretty much just keeps doubling from there. So a huge start to the day here in the lower quarterfinal.
Yep, and we can see that the players are getting ready. We'll be hopefully starting this on the hour, and it is OCE taking to the field. Ground Zero Gaming looking to try and get something for the region. They will be up against OpTic Gaming. CJ, how are we feeling? You got to think that OpTic's like one of the winnable ones for OCE.
I think so. I beat OpTic once, so if I can do it, anyone can. And look, I think it is actually a completely different team of 3, but OpTic, I think it's a good matchup for Ground Zero, and I think they'll be looking forward to this. They had a tough one against Oxygen. They're in form, but OpTic, they're a little bit inconsistent, I'd say.
Yeah, and AJ is coming in off 2-1 losses. Not what you would be expecting from a player like him. And so that will give an awful lot of confidence. I believe it's Super Lucky that plays the ones over on this side. So how are you feeling about his chances in that matchup?
Actually, not too bad. I didn't see too much of the 1v1 against Jorius, but it was thereabouts. He lost 5-2. I can see the results there. But Super Lucky, I think he can be competitive. AJ should return to form. I think that yesterday was a bit of an anomaly for him, obviously losing to OSM, and exactly. Unless he starts to think about it. Oh my goodness, am I going to win? A lot of pressure. And it's just a different format. I mean, we spoke about it yesterday. You're not just playing a 1v1 for yourself. You've got your whole team relying on you. So just that extra pressure can rattle a few players.
Yeah, it really can. And I mean, put yourself in the position of whichever team wins this. I mean, they'll be expecting to meet Vitality in the next round. So it's all about just getting what you can, get what momentum you can before you run into the juggernaut that very well
They
could
look
be
beatable,
running
though.
through. It would.
They look beatable.
I mean,
you
it
know.
wouldn't be. There is precedent right here for, OC especially, sort of knocking off the top team at the time. All you got to do is think back to London, BDS getting taken down. I mean, it has happened.
Yep, Pioneers did it, and that was super lucky. So he knows how to take down the European #1 seed, and one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world at the time, certainly up there. So anything is possible, and clearly they're a bit of a wounded warrior. This godly Vitality lineup that looked unbeatable. Zen hasn't lost a single thing. Maybe that'll just be an RLCS. Maybe
I'm
will
getting
lose
KC
this one.
vibes. I got used to this story throughout the season of KC losing on day one. We think, oh, they're beatable, and then they just win the entire thing.
Yeah, could just be a little wake-up call for Vitality, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it in the next series. But for now, as we said, we've got OpTic Gaming, who I think they got to have a lot of confidence coming into Gamers8. I know Reddles has been grinding a lot. He's talking about he's got the most hours. He's feeling fresh. He's been playing a lot of 2s, a lot of 1s as well. So they've certainly been grinding, ready for this one. Ground Zero as well didn't go to the World Championship, so you'd have to think that they've been at home fine-tuning their crew battle sort of format. So there's no excuses for either side. And let's see if OCE can show up. They disappointed me yesterday, Shogun. We'll leave it at that.
When was the last time you were not disappointed? That was a
Not
harsh
this
question.
season, but no, probably all the way back to Power, almost making top 8 against, they lost the Liquid back in Rotterdam, full major. They beat G2. So that was good, but they still lost when it counted. And that's kind of the summary of OCE. When it matters the most, they're just not stepping up at the moment, which is disappointing. But
I really want this storyline to change. It feels harsh. It really does, considering this was like the region that made it possible for every other region to be considered. Coming on in, getting top 4s, eliminating NRG, who were going over to, I believe, Season 4 as the favorites.
Yep.
I mean, we have all of these amazing accolades, and then everyone else kind of came in and took the shine off them. Let's get OCE back where they should be.
Yeah, we sound like a broken record every time we talk about OCE, but I mean, they just keep coming over and not really
look, the
showing
moment
up.
we stop talking about it is the moment we give up on them.
Yeah, we will never give up on this region. I will never give up on my region. Kaka there as well. This is going to be just another learning experience for him. He had his first season this year, cracking that first LAN when he was at the major over in winter. So another nice learning lesson from him. This is his 3rd LAN now, with RLCS LANs included as this one. And well, I'm looking forward to seeing him show up. I think the Ground Zero boys should be enjoying this one. It's a little bit less pressure. You see Fiber with a fresh haircut on the left as well. How good do those dreads look?
All right, let's get our predictions in then, shall we, CJ? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, I'm gonna have to, after all of this big and go, I'm gonna have to be the mean one here and just go, I've got Oxygen taking this, and I'll say 3-1. I'll give the OC lads 1, but I think the crux is that the 1v1 game, I can't see them winning, and the threes game is already going to be difficult. All right, I guess you got to go quick.
Yeah, well, I'll go OpTic as well. Probably 3-1. I think the Ground Zero can take the threes, and it could be right here in game 1 as we're kicking it off, and AJ has just said no thank you. It's been 6 seconds. We're trying to pump up our region, but AJ off the ceiling around Fiber delays the flip. Oh, it's trouble early.
Yeah, that was very quick. This happens an awful lot for us over on this stream, is that we get the early kickoff goals. And it's like the third one. We've only casted 6 matches.
We had a 16-second, a 17-second yesterday, and now we get a 6-second today. So certainly, I'm not sure what's going on with us. We certainly cast a lot of sweeps.
We do. I think we've casted 1 non-sweep now in our entire casting careers together. We've casted 6 matches, and one of them wasn't a sweep.
It's not great. It's not a great record, but in the interest of everyone's time, I'm sure everyone else loves it. Certainly not if you're the losing team, as Ground Zero have an early deficit here. They've got to get back onto it.
Yes. Yes, and there's an awful lot of Rocket League to be played today. 10 matches over on this stream, 10 matches over on the A stream, and left for the shot. Love that call. And Rettles just pops into the corner.
What was Kaka doing here? He's almost too scared to jump up at that backboard and just invited the offense through. AJ with a great fake as well for Rettles. It's great play from OpTic, but honestly, yeah, Ground Zero just letting them attack, which is, you know, we need to see some more confidence from the boys.
Oh, is that another? Oh, dear. This is the last time I hype up your region.
Rettles with a fantastic shot. Give him credit off the kickoff. It was almost saved out by Fiverr, but oh man, honest.
Can we get another stream that is just CJ's camera during these kind of matches? Oh.
I have my hands in my head for the last minute, and it's just not improving. This Fiverr will be able to get the extra touch. That's a nice little delay. He's got no boost. Hands it off to Kaka. Takes it low. Awkward bump. Super Locky's not there. Wasn't the best clear coming out, but OpTic just looking so comfortable. That's another open net.
This game's done. They're not. I mean, we saw one 4-goal comeback at Worlds, and that was off quite a high-level amount of bottling. I don't think OpTic Gaming have got that in them at the moment. This is brutality.
Fantastic pass from Magic Bear, though. So, I mean, I know we're sort of, the story is, can OCE show anything, but OpTic are certainly playing well so far. It's Rettles again, another low 50. AJ
back to the ceiling.
Off the ceiling again. Double reset. Almost. Oh, they're on right now, OpTic. This is absolute danger signs for Ground Zero, not only for game one, but for the whole series.
It does look like AJ is playing with something to prove today. Those 2-1 losses have certainly ignited the fire. Rettles again, tries to get the pass over. AJ shut down by Super Lucky. Over to the wall. Magic Bear on the challenge. I mean, Ground Zero have not even seen the orange side of the field yet, and the ball has barely been over. Might finally... Hey, okay, it's off the back pass.
OpTic just so fast, though. I mean, Rettles could have scored again there. It went wide. They almost followed it up. They can get bumps, get demos, and even when Ground Zero do get it clear, it's OpTic Gaming, the first ones to be back. Here's a great chance. Kaka just didn't quite get the power. Magic Bear, no boost. With the best chance for Ground Zero to perhaps wrestle some momentum back. Great bump. Super Lucky does take the 50 and gets space. He's going off the corner. Kaka pre-jumps, flip reset, needs to land, needs to get something on it. AJ finds the ball.
AJ's just going to guide it. Dare anyone to challenge him? I can go even further. The good news for Ground Zero is that they have stopped the bleeding. The bad news is they're 4 goals down with 2 minutes left. That's pretty bad news.
Terrible news, and it started from that 6 seconds.
I mean, I could try and find... I need, you know, usually it's a compliment sandwich. I'm looking for the second slice of bread.
Not quite. I don't think they've got the loaf at all. they need to go to the bakery and find something because...
Much like this bread, CJ is molding.
I'm flat as a tack, but I mean, OpTic have been super impressive. They would consider themselves heavy favourites for this one. Another demo coming through. Is that going to be open there for AJ? No, tries to find bottom right, goes wide.
All right, AJ's bad at the game again. There's the other bit. There's the sandwich that we were looking for. AJ is bad, and he can't score open nets.
That could be the saving grace. But I don't know if they're thinking about it right now. They're just trying to keep this ball out of their net.
Oh.
As Kaka misses the ball, Fiverr sends it down. Kaka gets a... and... I'm trying so hard.
I would say it's okay, but it really isn't. Oh! Hey! All right, there you are, CJ. Enjoy your moment.
There we go. It's Kaka this time. Does get the reset on. It's a great 50 on AJ. They're so awkward in front of net. Rettles pitches straight into Kaka. He makes up for his double with the first goal on the board.
I mean, you know, the second half of this game has belonged to Ground Zero. 1-0 in the last 2 minutes.
It has.
Really, like, I'm trying really hard to find positives. I'm doing good, I feel.
yeah, you're
I'm
not
trying to be a
making
more
me feel any
positive
better,
person,
though, so
CJ.
you're just optimism, but AJ's full of flip resets right now as Reynolds has sent the ball backwards. I mean, pretty regulation so far. I know that Ground Zero did get the first. They do get the second.
Wait.
Maybe OpTic need to start waking up a little bit. There's still some time.
Through the power of Kaka missing the ball, OpTic have been sent for a loop. And, all right, come on. OC knows some kickoff strats. Let's have a look. What have you got? It's a regular kickoff.
Oh, it's nearly come off, though. The bump could come through from Kaka, but he couldn't quite get it. Misses the boost as well. Magic Bear is just going to be just one extra for a bit of fun. AJ's cooking, goes low. Kaka helps out. OpTic Gaming going to take the threes. You'd have to say, Shogun, that they will be going for the 2v2 over the ones.
I mean, power play here is to tell AJ that you still don't think he's playing any good.
Oh, that's a strat, actually. If they say, you know what? And they say,
lost too,
AJ,
mate.
let's play. You know, they call him out. They don't just say, we want the ones. They say, AJ, let's go. You know, but they're sort of pointing around at who's doing it, who's hopping in and out.
There's going to be twos. Like,
yeah.
Nobody has the galaxy brains that we do, CJ.
Yeah, it looks like twos. Just because Super Lucky, he hasn't been playing the twos. It's been Fiber and Kaka, so he's looking a little bit more relaxed. Like, he's chilling for this one and will be watching the guys. Unless Super Lucky decides to join in on the 2v2. It's a bit of an interesting thing. It feels like OCE do the Shogun, where if whoever's playing the ones doesn't play the
my God,
twos,
they went for it.
They went for it.
And not only that, AJ has been pulled out of ones.
Wait.
It is Rettles versus Super Lucky.
That is
massive. Huge.
That is now Rettles is a fantastic ones player, but he said it himself. He has AJ, who he backs against anyone in the world, clearly been affected by the first two 1v1s he played yesterday, losing to OSM, losing to Atomic, that he said, I don't want it. Or did Rettles say, I don't want you to have it? That's the question.
Either way, like, it's two massive calls that have just been made. One, that Ground Zero actually called them out on it and said, look, ones is where we've got you beat. All right, well, not right now. And the other part where OpTic have responded to this and said, we're pulling out our talisman.
It's like Super Lucky and Ground Zero said, we'll take you in the ones. You can't even beat, you know, you haven't won a single game yet. And OpTic said, fair enough, and we won't be playing it. It's a bit of a, you know, oh, that's a nice little counter from Super Lucky. Here we go. I love this matchup for Super Lucky just quietly. I know Rettles is a very good ones player in his own right, but he's certainly not top 10. And that's good. That's what he wants.
He's not, let's put it like this, he's not AJ. Like,
no, he's not.
And that is by no means us having a go, but this has so many implications as well for the rest of the tournament, because it is a long day ahead. If OpTic do win this, like, they'll get called in. I mean, like I said, if they do win this, like, what do they even do in the future?
This is massive for the confidence as well for Super Lucky if he can get a win here. That's a fantastic shot. Got the reset, faked it, brought it to the ground, then put it in behind Rettles. I mean, Rettles was just stun-locked in net. Super Lucky showing just confidence early as Rettles goes for the delayed kickoff, but it's terrible as he gets no boost.
Didn't jump.
And nothing to work
He thought
with.
the ball's just going to hit into him and just bounce very nicely. That is, certainly not what happened. And, okay. Lucky looks very comfortable. I didn't really have a good sight of where Rettles was, who did well to just hide behind the ball. But yeah, that's a good way to describe how Rettles has been in this 1v1 so far. He looks awkward.
Yeah, he doesn't. Super Lucky looks so confident. I know that, you know, you just look at the mindset. If I'm on the pitch, would I rather play AJ or Rettles? And it's going to be Rettles, surely. As he put that away, he has. He's found the bottom right corner. Super Lucky, as you said, he is looking confident. He's looking locked in.
It looks like he can get those baits on Rettles, where you just convince your opponent, hey, there's a touch here for you. There's a big win here for you. No, actually, I was that split second quicker than you this entire time. And Rettles is taking the bait. He's putting himself in bad positions.
He does get the back corner boost, but Super Lucky in control. Great reset. He does get a block out. If a demo shortly comes through, he's going to go for the shot. That would be goal down the other end. Rettles should be able to walk this one in. And does so.
He's got it. He's got those.
That's just one where Super Lockie got the beat out. I know that Reddle's got a touch on it, but if he just finds a bump on Reddles, it's an open net. But he went for the shot, he just got no power, and that means it's just a 2-goal swing.
Oh, now Rattles has got a good kickoff for himself. Let's see what he can cook up on the wall. Tries to just take it down. Lucky trying to use the inside of the goal for the recovery, but he's not quick enough.
Poor clear. It was a poor touch off the backboard. He just took it almost too safe. Didn't get anything on it. Reddles turns, levels it up, and I just feel like Super Lockie should be a couple goals up here. He'll be certainly starting to think about the ones that got away. Reddles growing in confidence and starting to get a couple of kickoff wins.
I like that from Rattles. Didn't commit to ball or boost. He made Super Lockie think about both options. Yeah, now time to play this one back. Rattles is in a lovely position. Although he played that very early on, thought he could stretch out the save. Rattles is playing for the don't lose here. He's not fully committing. He's waiting to see if the mistake happens. Well, now he's playing for the win.
Ooh, yeah, he went for that one. Lockie did grab the 100 boost. Still got a little bit to work with. Reddles probably thinks he's very low, but still has 30 in the tank, and he's done well here. He's giving himself a little bit of space. Reddles does bite on the challenge, so Lockie can grab another 100 boost. That's well played from Lockie, but he needs to make the save, and Reddles has found top corner.
Rattles is doing a phenomenal job of just not committing. He's not playing it too quickly. He knows the 50-50s he can set up, and he's making Lockie make decisions that he doesn't want to.
Started off as well, where Super Lockie was really bringing the pace, bringing the speed, and it's sort of turned into a bit of now Reddles really controlling that game. As you said, he's playing it really at his own speed. He's slowing it down. He's got the boost control, and Lockie needs to respond now.
Just doesn't commit to anything, does Rattles? Although he's got to avoid getting bumped. They both faked each other out. But again, Rattles is uncommitted. He's relevant to the play at all times. And it's going to be so frustrating. Lockie's got to up the pace here a little bit because this is far too comfortable for Rattles. I think Lockie could do with trying to make this a bit more of a mechanical game. Get the pace up, force the recoveries. And that's not it. The mechanics were far too loose, and a recovery to save the shot.
Yeah, lucky. That could have been another goal for Reddles. As you said it perfectly, they're just not quite threatening at the moment. Reddles, though, has gone nowhere. He's been completely faked out, but Lockie didn't commit to putting the shot back in. It's a great half-flip challenge backwards. Reddles in trouble. They've locked each other. Lockie's got to go, and does. Still a 1-goal deficit, but there's a lot of time left.
Ooh, just avoid the ceiling. Reset gained, and this time the fake works.
That's disgusting from Lockie. As you said, he had to turn it into a mechanical game, and he did. Took it up high, got the early reset, which just makes Reddles think about things a little bit. And then he chooses to do nothing at all. Fakes it underneath. Tie ball game. Lockie gained a little bit of control just in his past 35 seconds.
It's a decent kickoff for Lockie just to control the ball after the fact. Again, the fake challenge from Rattles. I don't think I've seen him actually commit to any of those. Is that a read that is going to happen, or is it just something that both players aren't willing to commit to? But here we go again. Rattles, is it the play? Is it the fake? This time it's the outplay.
Reddles is in massive trouble. Lockie does the exact same move, same wall, same scenario. Gets the early reset. This time he uses it. Reddles waiting for the fake perhaps, but he just had no momentum back post. Lockie had all the goal to shoot on the left side. And now he gets the lead.
Oh, Lockie doing a great job, and he's followed the ball. So easy to give up on those and just allow the opponent to grab boost and ball. Instead, followed it the entire way. Realize if Rattles does go for the big shiny thing, he's got him caught.
It was a great play because Reddles had to leave the boost as well. Didn't even grab the mid and just left himself in no man's land. Lockie with a 2-goal lead now. The minute on the clock goes to the fake kickoff, but it's not great. It's just going to roll in.
Oh,
that is
no.
absolute disaster for Super Lockie.
That was hideous. as someone that likes to employ the fake side kickoff in ones, that wasn't great.
Another poor kickoff as well. It's going to roll straight through. Reynolds is just going to
Oh,
go. He's missed an open net. Like, he still has a little bit of boost. He's missed the small pad somehow. He's only got 20. That's enough to get it clear. Reynolds is going to look to quick turn and pop this one. He's always happy to stay on the ball leak. He's a very direct sort of player in the ones. Always looking to turn straight towards net. He does grab the 100. Gets the 50 to boot as well. Reynolds tries to find the angle. That's a fantastic shot. 6-6.
Phenomenal recovery off the challenge. Look at that, lands brilliantly, and he couldn't have asked for it to set up any nicer for him. 2 goals down, Rettles does not care. And now with 30 seconds on the clock, Lucky has got to come through clutch, and he's in a really rough spot now.
Now it's all about the kickoffs, and Reynolds takes the win there. Gets the lead. He was 2 goals down, and so quickly has turned that around. Only 30 seconds of game time between 3 goals for Reynolds. He gets the lead now, 27 seconds Shogun. All about this kickoff for Lockie.
Yeah, Ground Zero need him to come through clutch. He tried to delay his kickoff. Rettles goes straight through. One more goal might finish this. Goes for the challenge instead, and now this is playable.
Much boost though, he has to go the early flick. Yeah, he's just looking to grab 100. He wants one last attack, and he should be able to get it here. That's a great challenge though from Reynolds. Grabs a mid boost as well. Demo, that's just icing the game out. Puts it away. A great decision for Reynolds to take the 1v1. Releases the pressure off AJ. OpTic will be 2-0 in the lower bracket.
Yeah, if there's any chance here, Lucky's got to basically score off the kickoff, not win the kickoff and then score. He's got to score off the kickoff. So if Rettles as much as makes contact, 1 and out of time. So Rettles picks up the gauntlet and is happy to take the win. AJ pulled off 1v1 duty, at least for this series. And if OpTic do win this, I think I know where one of my interview questions is going to go.
Yeah, it'll be who made that decision, but it certainly paid off. Reynolds had the ice late, but Super Lockie really looked like, I guess, the better individual, I guess, mechanical player, but Reynolds just had the smarts in the end. And to be honest, he won that just with 1v1 experience. He knew where to be. He knew when to challenge, when to slow the game down. And Super Lockie just had a couple of 2-goal swings where he committed too hard for a shot, didn't quite land it, and went straight down the other end. A lot of open nets for Reynolds, whereas, you know, Lockie had to work for his goals off the air dribble. But, you know, if you can't stop those easy ones, you're going to lose those ones.
Yeah, I feel like that was a really good 1v1 game, showing off 2 completely different styles of playing it. Because every single time Super Lockie managed to get a more, shall we say, mechanical game going on, when the pace was up, when he could force the decision making between, is this a fake or is this a play, he was doing very well. When Rettles got the game slowed down and it was about those little moments, who can recover quicker off a challenge, that is when Rettles had more success.
Yeah, and Reynolds was so much better as well at just the boost conservation and just knowing where to be at the right time. Obviously, both players made some mistakes along the way, but just that last minute showed that Reynolds had the ice, and he had the 1v1 experience when it counts, when the pressure's really on. But we will be getting back into the 3v3 right now.
Yep, so Ground Zero have to win this, win a 2s game, and then win another 3s game. Otherwise, OpTic will move on to take on either the Gaming Gladiators or Team Vitality in the next round of the lower bracket. And AJ is now back on the field. He's a little bit of time just to relax, watch his teammate go and get the win. That must have been quite a nice feeling, actually, just to see someone else do that work.
Yeah, he's certainly, I guess you could say he's got that confidence in his teammates, but certainly, there's question marks still on whether AJ is locked into those ones yet, as he hasn't quite got the dub. But maybe Reynolds is the main man from now on. We'll have to find out later. But for now, could this be the 3-0? Could this be the sweep? Is this going to be Ground Zero's last game here at Gamers8? They've only had 1 win so far, 1 individual game win, and that was in the 3s against Oxygen.
Yep, and one other OCE player is currently on the field over on the A stream. Kami for Elevate, as AJ does put in the first goal over here. Elevate are 2-0 down in the series, but 2-0 up in game 3.
There's a bit of life yet left in Elevate, perhaps. But OpTic getting the first goal on the board here, and has to be danger signs now. The flashing red lights over on Ground Zero's campus. As I said, this is a lower bracket. No more lives left, and OpTic are in the driver's seat.
Oh, and that miss is not going to really help them with that. Fiber's been relatively quiet throughout this series, but I feel like that's pretty fine. It's Kaka that I'm really interested in this game, because he was making a lot of mistakes. There was a fair few whiffs in game number 1. I want to see him keeping it pretty much on the down low, as he almost managed to hit Rettles, but Rettles pretty privy to the bump.
Yeah, Kaka's just such a fast player, and it can work out for his advantage or disadvantages. Oh, that was very awkward there. Here he is on the ball. He's always going at supersonic, and if he's on, if his mechanics are on, he looks so good. But, you know, we saw the other side of things in that first game where he just had a couple of mistakes and came back to bite him.
Now looking for the passing play. Actually, Superlucky takes the control. He's past 1. Almost managed to get it past 2, but Magic Bear had him covered. Either faking out the aerial, instead takes it low, then back high. Now on the reset off the wall. And Rettles got to keep this close because the challenge was impending.
Yeah, Kaka's right there and still on the ball again. Superlucky, what can he do? Gets a low 50. Fiber trying to challenge this one off the wall. Does get the touch across. Magic Bear awkward, but still recovers to get the second touch. As now Superlucky tries to make it work. There's only half a game left, perhaps 2 minutes 20 of Ground Zero's lives in this Game is 8 tournament. The second rendition, but so far they just can't find a way through this OpTic defense. They've certainly built the green wall that's very orange on this pitch, strangely. It's Ground Zero, another team in green, trying to get their first win.
Now Rettles, did he get the reset? He's gonna take on Lucky one more time in midair. Now Kaka calls for it. First touch, second touch, he looks to go the whole way. He's out boosted on last. AJ very comfortable with the gather. Now looking towards backboard, well met. But Ground Zero have not put together any real goal scoring opportunities. They've seen the orange side of the field, haven't created much, and they are running out of time.
Yeah, they saw the orange side, but they found that green wall pretty quick, and just not much happening at the moment. They're getting these touches, but they're beating Zero plays of the ball. That's a great demo. The first time we've seen a little bit of action, but not quite across. Five with a great chance here off the backboard. Surely, is there got to be a shot through? Gate save Magic there. Rettles throws himself as well. OpTic, they're getting demoed. They're low on boost. They've got very low boost. AJ just collecting 100. Now they've picked a few up. But there's still no way through for Ground Zero. More demos, more pressure coming through. There's less than a minute left. They have to get a goal. They'll be going home.
And there's no boost over there for Fiber. Off the backboard, the shot has nothing on it. Rettles could control the ball. 40 seconds for the air dribble. Bump on Magic Bear, and AJ's got it covered. That was the best chance Ground Zero have had.
Yeah, they're getting more desperate, which means they're finally showing some bumps and a little bit more presence around Superlucky. No boost, has to throw it forward. Rettles has pre-jumped and found Magic Bear as well. Absolutely ridiculous. AJ, is he going to call game? Fiber gets a huge touch. He almost sold that game, but here we go again. 13 seconds on the clock, perhaps one attack left. Where is Ground Zero? They're in shambles, they're in defense. They need to be in offense. Fiber has to go to work, goes low. AJ's there. Is this it for Ground Zero? Will they be going home? You betcha. Magic Bear on Zero gets the second. OpTic sweep Ground Zero.
And they've done it in incredibly convincing fashion. There will be questions about how this team is going to play out the rest of the tournament. But in this series, all they had were answers. Ground Zero are eliminated in the first round of the lower bracket.
Devastation for OCE's perhaps best team all season, forming after the first split, after the full split in the RLCS. They obviously didn't participate in the World Championships. This was their World Championships here at Gamers8, but They just weren't able to find it there, and they'll be a little bit disappointed with their performance. I'm sure they put a lot of time and effort into the twos, into the ones. Super Lucky could have won that 1v1 against Reddles. They took a threes game against Oxygen, but in the end, OpTic Gaming too strong. They'll be moving on in the lower bracket, but they could potentially show going to have a very, very rough second matchup there in the lower semis.
Yes, it's almost mean, but kind of truthful to say that this could very well be the match to get an extra $10,000 and then run into Vitality. But it's interesting here. I mean, I want Rettles versus Zen. I want Rettles versus Zen so bad. But hey, Gaming Gladiators might have something to say about this.
They might as well. And looking over on the mainstream, it looks like Elevate have won game 3, so they're still alive. And yeah, it should be interesting over there. But I believe we do have our interview ready with someone. I'm excited to see who it is. I'm excited.
Ooh,
oh,
hey.
There it is. Who else? Who else but the man that decided to take the 1v1?
Guys,
Talk to me, Reynolds. He said, AJ, get off. He said, get off. AJ, I'm taking the ones. What happened there?
Not quite. You know, thankfully, we have a great team for this format. We have players that can play every mode. AJ kind of dealing with a sickness right now, which, you know, you can't put on him at all. So he asked me to play. I'm here to play. I'm always, always ready for that. So gonna try and just let him use all his energy for the threes and see what I can do in the ones and twos.
Well, let's talk very quickly about that ones game, because obviously you were up against Super Lucky. That was a very close match overall, but what were the adjustments you were making mid-series as you were figuring him out?
It's LAN 1s, dude. LAN 1s are a different breed. They're a different beast. It doesn't, nothing comes close. LAN 2s, LAN 3s, nothing. LAN 1s are, the most solid, or, you have to play the most solid Rocket League, no risks, risk-free, and, it's a good player on the other side. It's someone I respect a lot. Lucky, one of the best from OC all time. Sorry, CJ. But, yeah, it's a warm-up game. We always had that series in the bag, I think. That was just a game to kind of get the ground under my feet and won. So I'm excited, hopefully, for Zen.
So it's one thing playing ones just by yourself, but it must be another thing knowing that, the boys, your teammates are relying on you. Do you feel that extra pressure when you're in that game?
No, I mean, we made it pretty clear. We tried to field our best rosters for ones and twos, and it's lose as a team, win as a team. It's, you don't blame someone for losing the ones because you would have had to lost the twos and threes as well to lose a series. So, it's always a team game. We're just trying to put our best foot forward in all game modes.
Well, you're now the first player we've had that has dealt with both of that. So my final question to you is, what do you prefer? Do you prefer being on the field for the ones game, or do you prefer watching over the shoulder?
I can't watch. I don't know how coaches do it. I don't know how fans do it. I don't know how org staff does it. Watching Rocket League is awful. You can't really do anything. You can't step in and take the controller. So it's nice to be able to put that on myself if we do lose and just, I could have done this better. I could have done this better instead of, just hoping my teammate brings out the dub.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll let you go and prepare. Obviously, you're expecting Vitality in the next round. Maybe Gladiators can do something about it, but we will see you very soon.
Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right, he's made the call there. He's ready for Zen. Rettles is ready to take him down. Let's take a look at the best moments from that series. Very well played by OpTic, and they did what they had to do.